thermal sound wave, thermal sound wave.
Rolling.
Hey.
Yes, indeed. Big up the Pac Div, man, up on the west side of things. It's Thermal Sound Waves, a natural alternative to fast food radio. We are here, C-Truth, Kevin Lawrence, C-Truth. Email us thermalsoundwaves@gmail.com. We about to get it on and popping with a legend.
Yeah, we have a legend on the line with us right now. I would like to say, let's turn it down real quick, a little bit. See, big shout out to this Thermal Sound Waves Radio, WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem, the voice of the whole world. Before we even fly this gentleman on real quick, I gotta give a big shout out to a wonderful lady I know named Kiana Lee. I'd like to give a big shout out to another gentleman that helped make this possible. I'll say a shout out to Mr. Craig Noble. And this guy the gentleman we have on the line, he's a person that is never really, he's almost like an urban legend. That's what it is. It's like Yeti, Bigfoot. You heard about him, but if you even try to Google him, pics of him, you may see one picture. And we like to say it's an honor to have you on the line. Most people may not know who you are, but they've seen your body of work. And are you on the line, sir?
Yeah.
Thermal Sound Radio, we have Mr. Mike Concepcion on the line. How are you, sir?
All right. How you feeling, man?
We're doing real good. We're doing real good. Thank you for being on the program with us.
Man, I appreciate y'all having me on there, though. You know what I mean? It's all right. It's good to be on somebody's show, when you're talking about something that's, positive, too.
Yeah, yes, definitely, man. C and I, we've been talking about you for a minute. And once again, shout out to Kiana. I remember when Kiana gave me that phone call, she was like, hey, I got somebody on the phone for you, and I want to speak to you. And I was like, oh, okay. I actually pulled over. I was actually on the way to Canada, and I actually pulled over by the border with people with me in the car, and they had to wait because I didn't want to lose reception. They had to wait about an hour and a half while we had a conversation. So it was a great conversation we had, and once again, thank you. But Mr. Concepcion, when we say your name, many people might not know who we're talking about. But like I said, your body of work speaks loud. Some people just know maybe one thing of you in your past. But that has nothing really to do with your present and your future. Of course, you used to do some stuff, in organized groups back in the days, way back in the days, and you turned your life around, and you did a lot of stuff in the entertainment business. For some people that don't know, can you just give like a brief rundown of what you've been involved with and what you've started?
Yeah. Well, I started from the gangs, me and my friends, we created something that we didn't look for it to go where it went, and somehow it went to a whole different story, we started the gang really to go at the KKK, and somehow we started reaching out and started to go at the real high yellow guys that look like they're white, man. It ended up being a whole different kind of situation that where we weren't looking for it to go, And, a lot of my friends died behind it, and a lot of them, in jail for the rest of their life, a lot of good dudes, that's not here. Unfortunately, I was one of the lucky ones, that kind of like made it through, and, but it's not a happy feeling because of the fact that most of the guys I grew up with, not here to, to sit back and, be able to share the times that I be having as far as living the way I'm living now. I never in my life thought that I end up in the situation that I'm in today.
Now, you moved. We're not going to stay on that the gang life. I know for most people they just want to talk about that because they feel like that's the only thing that matters. But you went from the gang life to the entertainment business. You was the one that also made that movement all in the same gang that There was a big song in the 80s. It was with Digital Underground. Let's see, who was it again? Digital Underground.
It was Digital Underground, NWA,
Yes.
Ice-T, Tone Loc, Who's Who was big around at that particular time, you know. It was something that I didn't do that, you know, to just put something out there. I did that, you know, hoping that a lot of youth today turn around and, you know, pay attention to the song and see what it is and see all these rappers getting together at that particular time, that if they can get together, because you had a lot of egos, you know, Hammer and Dr. Dre, but they decided they wanted to get together, you know, hope that a lot of youth could see that and it would stop the gang violence, you know, and we did that in what was considered most notorious projects in the United States at that particular time with Nickerson Gardens, which was a blood neighborhood, and you know, I was from the opposite side, but you know, I had so many family that's, you know, connected with Bloods, and you know, so it made it real possible for us to go on and make that happen.
And isn't Nickerson Gardens? That's the part of the first five, correct? On that side, Nickerson Gardens. That's the part of the first five on that side.
Yeah, it's just projects. You know what I mean? You got Nickerson Gardens, Pure Courts, and the Jordan Downs. You know.
Oh, that's Watts.
That's Watts.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
That's Watts.
Close to Compton. They right close to each other. You know. Before they even talked about Compton. You know, Compton used to be kind of more of a, you know, white neighborhood. You know, back in the '60s, and in Compton, and I mean, the Watts was a place where mostly all the black people stayed at. You know what I mean? It was hard to come out that area without going to jail.
Shout out to 103rd. 103rd, see, that's where we was at.
Yep, 103rd.
That's where we was over at. Yeah, we
Yeah.
was over there.
By the towers.
Yeah. Yeah, they was very you know, they let us in. They brought us in their homes over there. We went out there to Watts.
Big up the Birds of Prey,
Yeah, shout out the whole crew over there.
Blue West, and all that.
And that song, that was produced by Dr. Dre, and it was written by Ice-T, correct?
No, it was written by everybody. Everybody put a part in it. Everybody, you know, has something. You know, Dr. Dre just came out. I mean, Ice-T came out with the title "We Own the Same Game," but everybody wrote their own little lyrics in there.
Now, it's Thermal Soundwaves, WHCR 90.3 FM, 212-650-6903. We're talking to Mike Concepcion right now on the program. How effective was that record after it dropped? Like, did it serve the purpose that it did, or was there still a lot of problems?
Well, you know, it did a lot, you know, at that particular time. I mean, you know, you didn't find no gang violence, you know, for months, you know, and you know, sometimes you get people that grow, and you have people that people put in the community to keep things going on, you know, and it bugs me today, man, to turn around and see that you know, we don't understand, you know what I mean, that you know, it's like, you know, we already, you know, don't have it our way for us, you know, for us owning things and turn around and see us, you know, to continue to keep going at each other, you know what I mean? And, you know, it makes me lose a lot of respect for a lot of what they consider OGs, because a real OG, you know, it makes me nervous a little bit too, though, because if he's not turning around trying to get a guy to turn around and get out of that so-called community, you know, and make himself turn into something better than what he is, it made me nervous about what they consider OG, you know, because a real OG that's been there, you know, for years and years and having progress, you know, then he know that he should turn around and try to get one of those youngsters and try to get them to go out there and try to accomplish something, you know, be a doctor, lawyer, or something, you know what I mean? Make something productive, and, you know, tell the kid, that way he should, be able to try to put his mom in a bigger home or a better home, or whoever raised him, not turn around and try to call himself an OG and then turn around and make him feel hatred toward, other black people. That's a real turn off to me, you know what I mean? And made me think about that OG, something must be wrong with him. Sometimes I've been wondering who he working for.
Yeah. Wasn't it also during that time that I think it may have been the catalyst for Banging on Wax. When
No,
what was that
Banging,
after?
Banging on Wax was that was did afterwards. Some friends of mine that did that. Matter of fact, a guy like a little nephew of mine that turned around and did that. That was something different, man. But like I continue to say though, man, I always stress all the time, man, that who's to say what's your hood? You know what I mean? It sounds like some kind of plantation dish. You know what I mean? It took me a long time to understand life, though. You know what I mean? And once I get out of the hood and I start looking at everybody else from other different neighborhoods, white people, I started realizing they know better than me. You know what I mean? So I started looking at them and I started doing my own thing. And I couldn't read, and plus I'm in a wheelchair, so if I can turn around and come up, I just feel anybody come. But they got to turn around and get out them hoods, you know what I mean, and quit listening to people talking about we need to stay down with the hood. Who's to pick what's your hood? Where I stay at, this is my hood, you know what I mean? Everybody around here where I stay at, they black, and everybody, we still eating rice and gravy, baked chicken and biscuits, and it's like this here. So, when somebody trying to tell me about what I ain't doing for the hood, you know what I mean? The hood is, what to me is when I'm turning around taking somebody out there to better their life, you know what I mean, and taking them out from where they're over there with and try to, keep pushing them to try to do better things in life, especially turn around and, helping their mother out, the one who walked with them for 9 months. And as she walked with you for 9 months, you came out of it, she could have had a heart attack or stroke. And then you ain't got the respect to turn around and do the right thing to try to make sure that, everything she tried to do for you well, that you try to do something for her. Those things bug me when you turn around and just doing whatever. You know what I mean? I was one of those kids, it took me till when my mother was dying to understand, which is a sad situation because, that haunts me all the time, even though that I do have a mansion now, that this mansion don't mean nothing to me because my mother's not here to share it with me,
Well, condolences to the Concepcion family.
Thank you, man.
I heard about what was it your mother passed from, so that's a big thing that goes on a lot of people.
A lot of people, a lot of youngsters don't understand what they do. To people, I was one of them that didn't understand. But I always thought that I loved my mother. But then at the end of the rainbow, I realized that I didn't love my mother. Because if I did, I would have did everything right to turn around and try to make it better for her and for my brothers and sisters. But all I did was turn around and did a lot of things, and police come rushing the house, looking for guns and stuff, and they could have came in there and shot my brother and sister. But then I can holler that I love my family. I'm down with my family. If I'm down with my family, I'd have been protecting my family a little bit better than what I did, though.
Now, you went from that lifestyle. You went and you got into the entertainment business. What was your first start in the entertainment business?
Well, people knew that, people knew I had a reputation. People knew that I had respect. And the first person to call me was Bobby Brown and Ralph Tresvant. I got in a situation, and me being in the streets, not being around entertainment, I was happy to turn around and meet them, and I was happy to turn around and get them out of that situation.
This was in California.
Yeah.
Okay.
And once I got them out of the situation, then you found all kind of different people start calling me to who's who in the business, to Dr. Dre, to Ice Cube, to even when Ice-T turned around in Oakland, somebody put guns on them, and, I went out there, stepped out there and help that situation out, Right now, I'm writing a book right now. I'm just finished my book. So, it'd be talking about a lot of those different things in a minute.
Name of the book?
It's going to be called The Stupid Gangster. And the reason I call it The Stupid Gangster, a lot of people say, ask me why would I call it The Stupid Gangster, because it was stupid what I was doing out there. It was stupid turning around, trying to rob and sell dope to people to other blacks, to anybody, you know what I mean? Where I should have just got off my little lazy ass and turn around, went out there and, try to find me a job, you know what I mean? To make something better out of my life so that I can do something good for my mother.
Now, from the Bobby Brown situation, so did you start managing Bobby Brown, or How did because you went to a big empire after that.
Well, I started hanging out with Bobby Brown, and like I said, a lot of other people started, wanting to know who this guy was in the wheelchair, had this kind of respect, and you found who's who, Tone Loc to you name them in the business, to a lot of people didn't know that, even the thing out there with 50 and Ja Rule, that Chris Lighty, and some people called me, and I was able to put Chris Lighty and the other Chris on the phone for Murder Inc., and talk to them about the situation to, when Dr. Dre turned around and had the misunderstanding at the Vibe Wars, I'm the one told him to get up on the stage and talk. I mean, it's, not just to, to entertainers, also CEOs too. You name them, I've been behind somebody. And I love that, because it helped me, all the things that I did when I was out there doing wrong, it made me feel good because it made me feel that I was doing something right by turning around and making sure that these guys don't build their heart up to where they wanted to destroy each other, shoot each other. Somehow I was able to come between that, and make peace between everybody. You know what I mean? And that's what I do, and that's what I love doing.
It's WHCR 90.3 FM. We're talking to Mike Concepcion right here. Call us up 212-650-6903. Email us thermalsoundwaves@gmail.com. Now, you also had a film out that was written with Michael Jackway, right?
Well, we was working on that, at one time, and, I just pulled away from it for a minute.
Okay.
And that's what I'm doing now.
Okay.
Is, like I said, we just finished the book, and, I'm working with Mama D. Me and her got a relationship from hip-hop, and we working together and trying to make things happen besides a relationship, what we got going on, and I'm working on a TV show and some movie stuff right now, then we're going to start probably going out to work with my life story.
Okay.
You also did some stuff with Michael Douglas too, correct?
Yeah. Well, I work with when Michael Douglas first started his record company, I was managing Teddy Riley at the particular time, and
yes.
and hooked Michael Douglas up and hooked Teddy up with Michael Jackson to Madonna, who's who in the business, and that's when I really sprang into action. That's what made me able to live like I did once me and Teddy died away from each other. Matter of fact, I ended up getting a guy from Jersey named Gerald Biagio, who was a producer, and he came out here and we started having success and producing. I produced Kurt Franklin's song Stomp, Casey and JoJo Brownstone, U2 Rolling Stone Look, and from there, when I saw my friend Hammer lose a lot of money, that's gotten scared the mess out of me, and I just started investing in apartment buildings.
Now, I know Michael Douglas, his distributor was Universal, correct?
Right. It was,
I remember when
Third World was Warner Brothers. Third World.
I remember being at Def Jam and going upstairs to like a department that most of the hip hop people never used to go up to, and I would see a lot of Michael Douglas pictures in. I'm like, why is Michael Douglas here? Is he rapping? And I'm looking at him. I'm seeing all the posters like Romancing the Stone, or was it Jewel of the Nile? Like Jewel of the Nile. I was a big Michael Douglas fan, especially the game. What's the game? Oh, the one when his brother played a trick on him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was like one of my favorite ever Michael Douglas films. I love it. And I was like, what? Michael Douglas is getting that. He's getting a lot of money out here. Not his money, but he's just expanding more than what I thought he was. And just to know that you was behind it, and you too. I mean, if anybody does, you could just woke up yesterday. You have to know who U2 is.